La Casa del Arco, Plaza Mayor, the Arch House, Main Square. The Casa del Arco is located in the northern corner of the Plaza Mayor and stands opposite today's City Hall. The Arch House is one of the most emblematic monuments of the city due to the carillon clock installed on its upper floor. Between the 15th and 18th centuries, this building housed the main offices of the old city council. Its foundations are located on the old Alcaicería or Alcaná of San Antonio, a place where the Jewish community of the city had shops selling silk, cloth, brocades, silverware and other merchandise, and also the place where the first municipal sessions were held. The Alcaicería burnt down in 1396 during the pogroms or persecutions against the Jewish community. As a result, the city council was left without a common meeting place and had to hold its sessions in the back choir of the church of San Pedro. A few years later, in 1421, after King Juan II, or Juan II of Castile, granted Villarreal its legal city status, shops were erected on the same site. They were owned by the converted Jewish Alva Diaz, a draper. Some sources mistakenly name him as a rabbi. In 1483, the Holy Office was established in the city, and a large number of properties of the Jewish converted community of Ciudad Real were requisitioned, among them the houses and shops of the draper Alvar Diaz, located on the corner of Corregería Street, currently Maria Cristina Street. The history of the Arch House begins in 1480. In the courts of Toledo, it was explicitly ordered that, and I quote, large and well-made houses be built, end of quote, in all the main cities and towns to deal with common affairs. Taking advantage of a visit by Queen Isabel to the city, the Ciudad Real Council asked her for a house to hold their sessions, the old draper's shop being chosen for that purpose. According to the royal provision dated in Seville on November the 18th, 1484, the monarchs granted this place, quote, so that you can make the said house of the town hall, end of quote. The project would be directed and planned by the master builder Pérez de Valenzuela, although he never saw the works finished. Still, on March 26, 1534, Emperor Carlos I, in a royal provision, authorized the city to, and I quote, echar por sisa, end of quote, which means impose a trade tax of 120,000 maravedis to finish the construction of the houses of the Cabildo and the Audiencia. Already in 1528, the building was provided with a chapel dedicated to the Immaculate Conception, which, according to tradition, saved the city from the plague. In the following century, in 1619, during the reign of Felipe III, or Philip III, the corregidor of Ciudad Real, Francisco Fernández, restored the building, as the lintel says, and added a stone arch and a wooden corridor which was later replaced by an iron balcony. From this balcony, members of the city council used to watch bullfights in the Plaza Mayor. During the 18th century, in 1755, Ciudad Real suffered the impact of the Lisbon earthquake, which destroyed the Arch House, and of a fire a few years later. The stone arch was replaced by a brick one, but the house gradually fell into ruin. In 1864, the city council, by then holding sessions in the provincial court on Calle de la Mata, had a new building erected on the site in the Plaza Mayor. Restored, the current house preserves the 17th century lintel, the brick arch, the lantern, and an Immaculate Conception painting which had belonged to the place since at least the 19th century. The Arch House has become a tourist attraction since 2005, when a carillon clock was installed in it to mark the 750th anniversary of the legal conversion of the old town into a city. The clock was solemnly inaugurated by the then Prince and Princess of Asturias, now King and Queen. Daily at specific times, 12 noon, 1 p.m, 6 p.m, 7 p.m, and 8 p.m, between December the 1st and January the 9th, and less frequently the rest of the year, the automaton figures of Don Quixote and Sancho Panza come out onto the upper balcony to the sound of different tunes. This carillon clock, made by Cándido Valverde S.L., makes this unique building a tourist landmark of our city.